Good morning all of you. Welcome back to Mayflower. Today we are discussing Calicut University first sem common course paper Ways with Words. It is the previous year question paper. Here the questions are divided into three sections: section A, section B and section C. In the first section you have to attend short questions. Section B is paragraph questions and section C essay questions. Total mark out of 60. Here in the first section 12 questions are given and you have to attend 8 questions, at least 8 questions. Okay, we can move on to the questions. First one, how does Shakespeare use the lark as a symbol in the sonnet 29? It is the first chapter in the Ways with Words. Here William Shakespeare in his sonnet 29 says that while thinking of his friend, he gets extreme joy and happiness. Just as the lark sings hymns at heaven's gate, the poet says that his mind is filled with rejuvenated hope. Next one, who is called the bosom friend of maturing sun? Who is called the bosom friend of the maturing sun? This question is from the chapter Ode to Autumn. It's a poem written by John Keats. Here, autumn season is called the bosom friend of maturing sun, and both of them, that means autumn season and the sun, conspire how to load and bless trees with the fruits and flowers. Here, autumn season is a season of mist and mellow fruitfulness. Okay, third question. What is the promise offered by the motion pictures? What is the promise offered by the motion pictures? Here, the question is from the poem A Roadside Stand and it was written by the famous American poet Robert Frost. Here, motion pictures in Bollywood offers prosperity, glamour and luxuries. Similarly, the politicians attract villagers by offering them luxuries and enjoyment of city life. But they are in fact cheating the village people. Okay, next one. Fourth question. What is the significance of the color grey in the expression grey hills? What is the significance of the color grey in the expression grey hills? The question is from the poem The House of My Childhood written by Dilip Chittar. And the grey color symbolizes emptiness, dull and dissolution. Next one. What is the shake of the bellies of the old folks compared to? What is the shake of the bellies of the old folks compared to? Here, it is also from the poem Old Folks Laugh by Maya Angelou. Here, the shake of bellies are compared to the musical instrument tambourine. The old people are innocent and frank and they laugh without hypocrisies. And while they are laughing, they shake their bellies just like a tambourine. Tambourine is a musical instrument. Okay, then next one, seventh question. What is the battle implied in there is a battle inside and outside? Or what is the battle implied in there is a battle outside and it is raging? Here, the question is from the poem the Times They Are Changing by Bob Dylan. And in this chapter, the poet says that the youngsters are moving against the policies of the government. And they are also against racism and other policies of the government. Here, protest of youngsters against racism and the policies of government are indicated here, and it also echoes civil rights movement or hippie movement. Next one, what effect does the poet create by using the phrase once upon a time? What effect does the poet create by using the phrase once upon a time? Here also, it is from the poem Once Upon a Time by Gabriel Okara. And in this poem, a father is the speaker and the father narrates or the father explains some past events to his son. Here, The title Once Upon a Time echoes a story. Here the father reveals some facts that exist in the past to his son. Okay, then next question. When Jerome hears of his father's accident from his housemaster, how does he imagine his father has died? The question is from the short story A Shocking Accident by Graham Greene. In this story, Jerome thought at first that his father was shot dead by the police. His father was working in a secret agency, so he was shot dead by the police. At first, Jerome thought so, but later he realizes that the death was because of a pig fell on him from the balcony of a house while he was moving through the street. Okay, then next question. What might be the possible reasons for Patrick to leave his wife? What may be or what might be the probable reasons of Patrick to leave his wife? Here, the question is from the story Lamb to the Slaughter, and it was written by Roald Dahl. Here, Patrick may have a relation with another lady, or he may be blackmailed, or he may be chased by enemies. That are the probable reasons to leave his wife. Then next question. What are the meteorites? Meteorites are the rocks that fell from the sky to the earth. Next one, what is apostasy? Apostasy is the renunciation of religious faith. That is, a person is believing in his religion and later he gives up his religion. That is called apostasy. Colonial Dames is an American organization composed of women who are descended from the ancestors of British America and were in service to the colonies by holding the post of military or public services. That is Colonial Dames, and it is an American organization. Okay, then we are moving on to section B. In this section, 7 questions are given and you have to write at least 5 questions. Here, you have to write in a paragraph. Okay, then first question. How did Grace differentiate her own grey hair from the hair of Cornelia? Here the question is from the chapter Something Unspoken. It is a drama by Tennessee Williams, and from this chapter you have to write the answer. Here, Cornelia, you have to include some points. Cornelia is a spinster, and a spinster means an elderly woman having not married. And Cornelia is a spinster, and her secretary is Grace. Cornelia is a spinster having high social status and aristocratic power, and Grace is her secretary for the last 15 years. Here, Cornelia presents a bouquet of 15 roses to commemorate the 15th anniversary of their togetherness, but there is no emotional bonding between them. Here, the gift of roses is ironic as there is no emotional warmth between them. The question may be like this: explain the irony in the presentation of the bouquet of roses. That may be the question. Here, you have to include all these points. Okay, then next question. The word state occurs thrice in the poem. How does the meaning of the word change with each occurrence? Here, it is from the sonnet 29 and it is written by William Shakespeare. It is the first chapter. Here, the word state is used in 3 senses. That means it is used as a pun. Pun is a word that is used in different meaning. Here, the word state, first one, it is indicates the emotional well-being of the poet. The next one, the situation. The situation. Next one, it represents nation or kingdom. These are the 3 circumstances in which the word state is used. Okay, then you have to write or you have to explain the topic. The poet says that while remembering of his friend, he feels extreme happiness and he is not ready to exchange that happiness, even if the kings or the famous persons are ready to offer their kingdom. And in this context, the poet used the word state in three circumstances. State, first one, it shows emotional well-being of the poet. The next one, the situation, and the another situation is the nation or kingdom. Next, explain the lyrical imagery in Ode to Autumn. Ode to Autumn is a poem written by John Keats. Then you have to write the images, or we can see visual imagery. Visual imagery, auditory images. We can see auditory images also. Then olfactory, gustatory, and all these images can be seen in the poem. Then the autumn season is a season of mist and a season of mellow fruitfulness. Then the poet says that we can, in the second stanza, the poet compares autumn season to a female goddess. Comparison of autumn season to the female goddess and the lifting of her hair in the wind, winnowy wind. Then the sound of crickets, bleating of sounds, then sound of sparrows, etc. etc. are the images or imageries in the poem Ode to Autumn. Okay, then we can move on to next question. Who are the beneficent beasts of prey and the greedy good doers? Who are the beneficent beasts of prey and the greedy good doers? It is from the poem A Roadside Stand and it was written by the famous American poet Robert Frost. Here, the village people are offered by the politicians that they will get city life. The city life is very luxurious. Beneficent beasts of prey and greedy good doers are the politicians who are trying to cheat the village people. They are very cruel and ruthless and they try to be kind and charitable towards the villagers. But they are very cruel and they are unkind. They are in fact offering city life to the village people. Here we can see alteration and oxymoron. The figures of speech, alteration and oxymoron. Alteration means the repetition of consonant sounds. Here beneficent beasts of prey. Bill sound is repeating. And also greedy good doers. Here also we can see alteration. G sound is repeating. Greedy good doers. And also we can see alliteration. Alliteration is the combination of two opposite terms. Here greedy good doers. Similarly, beneficent beasts of prey. Then next question, 17th question. How does the poet look at the passage of time? How does the poet look at the passage of time? Here, this question is from the chapter The House of My Childhood by Dilip Chitta. The poet reveals his childhood memories in the poem. The House of My Childhood, it is about the ancestral home that is on the hilltop. Now it is grey. We have already discussed the significance of grey color. The grey color symbolizes emptiness, dull, and disillusion. Here, the ancestral home is on the hilltop where he enjoyed his childhood days. After the death of his grandmother, the house is empty and now it is deserted. Then there is no furniture inside the house. The things that are remaining in the house is only the grinding stone of his grandmother and her figureness of her gods. Then the poet feels the sound of his grandmother and his childhood days. He also complains that summer and spring leave him an elderly infant. The poet complains that summer and spring leaves him an elderly infant. Here we can see his childhood memories and the passage of time. Okay, then we can move on to the next question. Why does the poet calls death dear and painless? Dear and painless. It is from the poem Old Folks Laugh by Maya Angelou. Here, Old Folks Laugh by Maya Angelou. Old people, they are ready to receive death. They realizes the fact that death is inevitable, and they are ready to receive death at any time. So they are not bothered about death. They are ready to welcome death. So it is called dear painless death. Painless means death is always painful, but as far as the old people are concerned, they are already prepared to accept death. So there is no pain to the old people as far as death is concerned. Then here we can see a paradox. The figure of speech paradox can be seen in these lines. Dear painless death. Then next question. Once upon a time displays the pain of growing up and the loss of innocence. Explain. Once upon a time displays the pain of growing up and the loss of innocence. Here, Once Upon a Time is a poem by Gabriel Lucara, and in this poem, the poet reveals the pain of growing up and the loss of innocence. Here, we have already said that the speaker is the father who illustrates the changes that happened in his life during the course of the time. Here, Okara laments that innocence of the young people are lost and they become so hypocritic. The speaker says to his son that he has to wear many faces just like dresses, like a home face, office face, street face, host face, then cocktail face, etc. Then, when the new generation smiles, he can see only their teeth and cold eyes. There is no emotion in their eyes, is seen. And at last, the poet wants to relearn how to laugh and smile, and he asks his son to teach him all the good habits he has lost in his life. Then we are moving on to section C. It includes essay questions. Here, 2 questions are given and you have to attempt only 1 question. Then the mark is 11. First one, bring out the relevance of the title Something Unspoken. It is a play, one-act play by Tennessee Williams. And in this play, the main character is Cornelia, and she is a spinster. And Grace is another character. She is the secretary of Cornelia. Here, she was her secretary for the last 15 years, and during the day or the anniversary of their togetherness, Cornelia presents a bouquet of 15 roses to Grace. But in fact, it is an ironical presentation because there is no warmth or there is no emotional bonding between Cornelia and Grace. Then, the relevance of the title, Something Unspoken. Here, there is no emotional bondage between Cornelia and Grace. Critics say that there is some emotional or homosexual relation between Cornelia and Grace. That may be the reason for their lack of emotional bonding. Then discuss the humor in the story. It used to be green once. It used to be green once. It used to be green once is a short story by Patricia Grace, and in this story she describes the life of Maori people. Here, the main character is the mother. It describes the family life. Here, the children were ashamed of their mother because most often she did such activities like putting red dyes on her clothes, then cutting up old tops and making tube, etc. Then dad often brings rotten apples and pears for cheap rate, and mommy would dug out these rotten meat and gave them to children for lunch. And these fruits are holy, and so one day Their friend Revati asked them, "Who shot your peers?" Then another humorous factor is the car that Mummy had. It had no brakes, and the horns of the car were like the flock of ducks coming for feed. Then, even winning a lottery of $50,000, Mummy never changed her behavior. On all Wednesdays, she was able to take all friends and relatives with her. Uh, on all Wednesdays, she went for shopping, and at that time, she bring all the things that they need. But after winning lottery, she bought a car, and at that time, she took all her friends and relatives with her. And this Wednesday is also chosen for shopping. Now she got a new car, a big shiny green Chevrolet with brakes and horns. But most often the car was packed and the boots of the car were always open because of the thickness of things. These are the humorous factors regarding the car and Mummy. The notes of these questions are given in the description box. If you like it, please like and share. Okay, thank you.